Alrighty then. We are live on this wonderful, wonderful Sunday morning.
Morning.
Wonderful. So wonderful.
Man.
Um,
And so it begins, man.
so it begins.
Hopefully you guys have good plans, good day ahead of yourselves. Thank you for joining us.
Pretty much spent the majority of the weekend, or my weekend so far, fucking camel grinding on Black Ops 6.
Getting the points, man?
Yeah, well,
Yes, I get.
So you gotta get, like, if you want your guns to look crazy, like during the final kill cam or the play of the game or whatever. So zombies has its own line of camos, like the game mode.
Mm.
So and they have like these nebula camos for your guns, and I'm trying to like get them all. So I've just been grinding that, which is like crazy as hell. It's like, oh boy.
Dude.
But today's episode, because I know we talked a lot of shit about Manosphere niggas, and some of y'all were mad. Some of y'all were mad about that. Oh, Andrew.
It hurts. It hurts to look in the mirror. It's all right. It can. There we go.
We have our guest here. But today is going to be just about just men's mental health in general. So we're just going to have an overall discussion with that. We have our guest Nico here.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, morning, bud. Hell yeah.
Morning.
Y'all was partying a little hard last night from what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, no, like it this month is Men's Mental Health Month. It's almost over, but still.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's important to like bring up something that at least from my perspective or from what I see in the men in my life.
You fucking degenerate. Who spells first like that? The English language is so cooked. That's what I'm talking about. She's the shit I'm talking about. That was okay.
But yeah, no, it feels like from my perspective, men are told, yeah, like to a point, like a lot of women seem to be like, oh yeah, I'm done with this and that and all this different things. I like, but you gotta like. You might like it, okay?
Might like it. I don't know, bro. Might be doing you a favor, dog.
Is there lessons? But yeah, me myself as well. I'm just learning and getting new tools to address my own mental health. So, and it's more normal for women to talk about their feelings and stuff like that. So I can't blame some men that are upset or feeling a type of way about being told fix yourself, but never been taught the tools to fix yourself,
right.
Or taught that it's unmanly to fix yourself. So I'm glad that we are addressing this, man. It's
speak for yourself.
Damn.
I mean, we know you. We know where that comes from. Sorry about that.
Hey, man.
Oh, shit.
Hey.
Yeah. Because a lot of where I feel like where that comes from is just like how boys are taught not to express themselves.
I mean, that's a. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
I, that's a real concept because, like, when boys are told to express themselves, the tactical line, and excuse the French, is stop being a pussy and man up. The word is always man up, and it's never really addressed. Like, I know my dad dealt with severe emotional issues growing up, and whenever we had a legitimate issue, like we started crying, his first response was, "I will give you something to cry about," and then whip the belt off.
Man, that
Yeah.
that
That
it's
one.
that right there.
Mm-hmm.
That right there.
That is exactly what happens in the men profile because you're expected to be the man. You're expected to be tough, this big macho man. You're not supposed to have feelings. You're not supposed to do anything except for be a provider and make sure shit gets done. Because if you don't, you have failed. You have failed at being a man, and you do not deserve to be here, according to a lot of people.
Hold on, nigga. We cooking like 6 minutes in.
Like this, man. Nah, it's a hot topic, man. It's I can't say how many times I've had men, and I'm glad that they can. I'm glad that I can help any person be able to address their feelings, process this shit. Like it makes me happy, man. See my friends get out of those situations and shit, and just like but it's so fucking normalized, man, and it's just damn.
It's yeah.
So there's a caveat to this specific comment right here, Mac, because I've met some of the women in your life, like the women that raised you, and I fucking love that you had that. Because there's the other side of the spectrum where I was also raised by mostly women, but those are the type of women that didn't really know how to like nurture those feelings that I've had, because I was told the same thing. Like, I'll give you something to cry about, or if I had those emotions, they would, somehow be flipped and used against me,
Mm-hmm.
So like, and this is something that I've always said about, like, this is how women participate in toxic masculinity too, is by doing just that. Like, a man expresses himself, and then either he's called like sassy or gay, whatever the case may be, and have those emotions be used against them, and it's a really fucking shitty thing, right? So I'm glad that you really had that positive experience though, bro. Like, because that's one less nigga in the manosphere that we need right now.
Like, absolutely. And I was just using the example of my dad, but when my dad wasn't like, after an incident with my dad where he wasn't allowed to hit us anymore under penalty of law enforcement, my mom started doing the same thing my dad did, except for it wasn't physical abuse. It was like, oh, you want to cry about something? Well, how about I emotionally destroy you for the next hour, and then we can talk about your emotions. Like, my mom legitimately took $900 out of my account as a 18, 19-year-old. And then when I called her out on that, she's like, well, that's what men do. They provide for the family, whether or not that I don't have to ask you for anything. And then she proceeded to lecture me and make me feel like I was garbage. Like I was the one who took the $900. Like, it doesn't matter if it's men or women. It's the stigma that is applied to it. It is the gender roles. And it's like, I understand that there is some things, like there are some very positive masculinity things, but a lot of the non-positive masculinity is being taught to kids and taught to men, because it's a cycle. There's a picture you're supposed to live up to, this big manly man who goes into the trenches and does what he needs for his family, but they don't see the toll that comes with that.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like, we could go like a fictional character, like fucking Walter White from Breaking Bad.
White.
Because the line was, everything I'm doing for my family. So you out here selling fucking meth and shit when you didn't have to?
That
Mhm.
dude, that show does such a good job of portraying this, man, because it started with a fear for his life and his family, and it culminated in this man just liking this environment. Like he get like cured? He's good, and he keeps going.
Yeah, he
Like
goes into remission, but there's even a scene before that where so he had a shared he used to be a part of this company, this like multi-million dollar company, and once they found out about his fucking cancer, they were willing to take care of this nigga and like get all his treatments and shit done, all that, right? But no, he was too proud to take the fucking like the easy way. No, I don't
yeah,
need a handout.
It's because
and
just as I said, you don't take handouts. If you take a handout, you're considered not manly. You're not worthy of the role of man of the house.
man, it is.
It's insane. It's
Mhm.
Yeah, nah,
And
like yeah,
yeah, the other part that goes with it is the bottling up effect, because then after you get out of the environment of being taught you have to be the man and it's beaten into you literally, when you're, say, in a relationship as a man and a normal heterosexual relationship, or even if you're just the man in a relationship in a homosexual relationship, there are roles you have to be considered. Like, I know with my own struggles with mental health, I cannot show weakness in front of my wife. And that is strictly because if I show weakness, it means I am not the rock that everyone can hold on to. Because that's what our role is as family. It's the rock that everybody can hold on to. And that rock crushes you. It crushes your soul. It crushes your body. You will do everything to be that rock. And by the time you realize that that rock is nothing but a pebble, you're 6 feet under.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. There's
it speaks to, in my opinion at least, you know how water molds mountains, right? It creates paths. This is such a slow, small, drop by drop path and work. And what I see with that, man, is like, yeah, you can be hard as a rock, strong man, and we can talk about like the duality of pride and its purpose, but each drop counts because each drop makes a change. It just it's not right for one person in a team to take on so much. It not even in the like current social portrayal of normalized gender roles, whatever the fuck that means.
Mhm.
These motherfuckers see like little videos and cute TikToks of like the woman makes the pie and she does this and that and the man goes and works and brings the bacon. Like it did not work like that back then either, man. Like that's like it was more 50-50. There was more to it. A lot of women ran the house money wise. But these insecure motherfuckers will like hold on to their money because they have to. And it's not just on men, it's on women as well, that they're like, oh, well, I want to be taken care of. And that's my job to be like the little homemaker and stuff like that. I'm like, no, it takes more too, man. You're supposed to like do it's. I'm just getting mad. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool.
no, like, I see your point, and the biggest thing with the gender roles is like it really does need an entire restructuring, because like there are definitely some things that you can consider like positive masculinity is like strength and being able to like lift heavy things. There's some good roles of it, but at the same time, it is a both gender issue where, as you said, a lot of women are like, oh, I don't want to be with him. He broke. Like,
Yeah,
that's the
that
issue.
one. Like,
I'm like, in the current economy that we live in, it's like You can't afford that. We are literally living in an era that is just as bad, if not worse, than the Great Depression. We are making less money than most of the people in comparison in the Great Depression. And now it's like, oh, well, I don't want to work for the rest of my life. Like, we can't afford that. You can't live like that. You need to do something. We're going to die. What would you do without me? Oh, I don't know. I would look for a man to take care of me. That's the problem. You are automatically entering the relationship. Hey, here's a giant weight. Take it. And from there, you are just adding to it by other issues. Like, oh, I don't want to work anymore. So, hey, how am I going to get health insurance? Or how am I going to get a car? Or how am I going to get places if I don't want to drive anywhere? Because I don't want to drive anywhere. I'm going to be a passenger princess. Or where this and that and this and that. And in the end, it's one adult being the adult raising someone who is a child half the time. Now, I'm not saying that's the only relationship out there. What I'm saying is that happens a lot with men, where some women go into the role of being the housewife and they do a great job. But there are some women who enter the relationship, know they're not going to do a good job in that role of a housewife, but still expect the man to do everything he has to do without any help. And if he falters once, oh, you're just a weak man. What are you doing? You're just broke. If you're just broke, say something.
Man.
That's crazy work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
had a situation where, because this came up because, like, all right, so for those that don't already know, because I talk about work a lot, I'm a trainer at a call center, but I like to have discussions like after the end of the day. I like to have like non-work related discussions to kind of like, break up the monotony a little bit. So it kind of came up because like this young dude, I forget, he's like in his early 20s, and he talks about, I want to be dominant, I want to be the breadwinner and all that. And like I had to like break it down to him. I'm like, dog, you're gonna have to bring more to the table than just like income, because you're gonna be dealing with, like, because a lot of women these days are gonna have their own money, like. And a lot of women these days are, getting their degrees and, and they get in their bag. So you're going to have to bring more to the table than just a paycheck.
And yeah, that's a 100% fair comment, because there's also like definitely with the one stigma that men have to break themselves is the whole, we do need to get in touch with our feelings and express and understand what happens, particularly like damage is a big thing that men don't realize. Mm-hmm. And you see it a lot in abusive relationship where it explodes, but it's because we're not taught how to manage our emotions, whether it be anger, whether it be joy, whether it be sadness. If you're too happy, they'll tell you to pipe down or else. If you're too sad, I will give you something to cry about. If you're too mad, who are you slamming doors like you pay bills in my goddamn house?
Right.
And then it gets from there. And then you watch your parents and your dad showing toxic masculinity and punching holes in walls. And then you think that's okay. And you have to break the cycle. And that is the hardest thing, is breaking cycle. Because now you have to not only deal with all the emotions that are bottled up, but now you are tasked with breaking a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of expectations to give someone with an empty ass tool bag, man. Like,
mm-hmm.
Motherfucking MacGyver over here, banana peel and a fucking paperclip. Like, it just, it is.
It's like watching a fish trying to climb a tree.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a visual.
Yeah. It's quite the visual right there.
God damn it, climb that tree, fish.
Man over there literally fighting for his life, because it's just like, ain't no water there, so I know he's suffocating.
Already.
Let alone trying to climb up the fucking tree and shit. Just like,
mm-hmm. And then everyone's standing around like, look at this fish trying to climb his tree. He's so useless. He can't even climb a tree. What's wrong with this fish? So now he's fighting for his life, and everyone's making fun of him while he's trying not to die.
And then here's the thing though, like, so you have the fish trying to climb up this tree, and then this fucking fish turns into a fucking Gyarados, and now it's everybody's fucking problem.
Yep. It's like, oh man, he was
They're
just a
like,
violent person. Men are just violent. Men are just violent. And like, no, there was
oh
a path.
man, why did that fish attack me? I wonder why. Like, well, you see,
You see.
man, it's crazy, man. It is absolutely insane to me. It just makes no sense. I'm just very glad that we're trying to address it, man. And for any man out there that's listening that got their feelings hurt with the last episode, this is the work, guys. Like, this is why we're addressing these conversations, because
Yeah.
it comes from a lot of hurt, and I commend any person, any man, any woman, any that fucking is willing to look at their own pain and chooses not to pass it along. Like, it is just, man, nah. Fucking,
When it comes to breaking the cycle, you got one or two choices, right? you either put in the work to break it, or you continue to perpetuate it. You keep it going. Those are the only two options you got. And
Yeah.
and it's like, man, because not to get too personal, but I am talking to somebody right now, and she has a son. So, and I know once we get into that part in our relationship, it's just like, fuck. Like, how can I, at the very least, be like a positive, not even just a positive like male figure, but just like a positive adult in this person's life. Like, he's about to, like, I think he just turned 10 or some shit, or is turning 10. So it's just like, now I gotta, not even so much present myself a certain way, but you know what I mean? Like, you want to make a good impression on that kid, and to see what a positive male like looks like, because when it comes to like the next generation, it's pretty much on us to make that lasting impression.
Yeah.
It always starts with us when it comes to the next generation. Like, we have to put in the work to like try and make it better for them, so that way they don't go down that cycle of like toxic masculinity and not being able to express themselves, and just we don't want to see him become the next serial killer. Like, oh, school shooting happened, and it's like,
Oh,
correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I think, at least for me, a part of that is not to make yourself seem like Superman.
right. Right.
Like, it seems like a lot of people, at least for me, like, I grew up thinking, I'm like, oh, they can figure it out. They're adults. They got this. They're invincible, or something like that. And then you put a lot of blame on yourself of like, why am I not here at this age? When they were my age, they were like succeeding and everything, without seeing all the stumbles, right? It's human to struggle, and it's part of the process to figure it out and to bump onto things and fucking solve problems. Part of what in my opinion, is to be a good role model, is to show that too, like, show your work. Like in math, when they were like, yeah, how the fuck do you get to this conclusion though? Show me all the math problems and how you solve them and all that shit.
I carried the one, and then I added the two.
What's a good example that I like to do is, and this quote always kind of hit me, usually you come out to be the person you feel safest and most comfortable around as when you were a kid. And it's important to remember that when it comes to other children, because like in my own current situation, because of everything falling apart in my own living situation where I'm living with a friend, and they have a 5-year-old, and I'm trying to navigate around the 5-year-old and do the same thing that you're trying to do. How am I going to be a positive influence on this? And one way to look at this, and as messed up as it sounds, like, okay, how would I have liked my dad to handle this situation instead of him beating me? Or like when it comes to learning how to use power tools, because I watched my parents use power tools, but I never got a chance to, because every time I tried to help, he would just get, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it. Just put tools, go away. Never taught me anything. Whereas one positive thing you can do if you want to try and share your work and share everything is give them something scrap. Give them something scrap to cut, let them practice with power tools under adult supervision so they can learn how to do it for the big projects. Make a helper. Show them, because they're not going to understand it the first time. Understand, kids' retention for memory is very low, but they'll get better eventually, and then they're going to thank you for teaching them important skills later. You're going to yell at them. It's important to know that you're going to yell and be a jerk and an asshole sometimes, but as long as you're not an asshole for more than 50% of the time, you're doing a good job. The real statistic's 30%, but 50% is at least enough to make not an asshole kid.
There you go. Bars. Fucking bars, man. Fucking bars. But no, that's real shit though, because it's like growing up is like there was a lot of missed opportunities for teachable moments. You know what I mean? Like, because it would come up often where I would like, all right, it's time to clean. I would go out there and try and help clean. And then like they'll tell me, oh, go in the room. Okay. And then wondering why, like as a kid, I didn't really clean up my room that much. Because I would get told to go in the room all the time when y'all would be out here cleaning.
Every time.
So it's just like, well, what the fuck y'all want from me at this point?
Nah, man.
what are you expecting out of me now? And then you expect me to clean. Like, all right, whatever, dog.
Or like, they're not interested in nothing. They don't want to do nothing. But every time that you try to like do something, get scolded or get told to like sit down, quiet down, stuff like that. Like,
or the thing is that I got accused of a lot was like, oh, he doesn't go outside. But when I would go outside, it was a fucking problem.
Like, hey, did you do your homework yet? Go inside and do your homework for the next month and a half. I swear to God.
Man.
Why don't you go outside? Go play. No, you told me to do homework. Oh, you have homework? And that can wait till later. Go outside and play. Why aren't you doing your homework?
Man. It's psychological torture sometimes. So it's just like, what?
Like it sucks trying to be trying to like have like consistent habits when it's not being nurtured. When you're trying to have consistent habits when it's being nurtured with inconsistency.
Mm-hmm. And I think a very important thing as well with that is you gotta watch your interactions with other people besides the child, because they're watching it. Such as if you're having road rage in traffic, your child sees it, and that's how they're going to act in the car sometimes, or in the classroom. And then your teacher wonders where they learn to act like that. Yeah. Or if, again, like I said, I came from a really, really bad household. Like I don't like to hit people, strictly because I watched my dad literally punch my mom sometimes. So that is something that also affects kids in terms of it could have gone the opposite route where it's like, it's okay to hit a woman. That's what they will learn from that message. Your actions, even though you don't think anyone's watching, they're watching. They're little spies. They're always watching. And it always starts early. And if you're trying to break the cycle of toxic masculinity and you know there's a child at least within 50 feet of you, put on a good face. And that good face will eventually just turn into good habits. Like it's hard it's hard not to spread toxic masculinity when you have to wear a face 24/7. I know, but it has to be done in order to break it.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like
that's one of those things it's always in the back of my mind too, because I know that boy's gonna want to like have that positive imagery of like someone loving their mom like in a really healthy way. So that way, once they get in their relationship, like they know what a healthy relationship looks like, so they know what to look out for it. Not to like put up with like certain red flags, because like not to make it like a relationship episode, but that also goes into like the whole mental health aspect of it too, because it's just like because right now I'm just gonna say it, like some dating now is kind of cooked.
Yeah.
and a lot of it is just like there's a lot of like not meeting people where they're at, because either they're not willing to learn how to do that, or they're not equipped with the skills on how to do that, whatever the case it may be. But that's where it starts. You're not meeting people where they're at.
Like, I think that's that's a big mentality that people have to come into, is like the relation, as Mehdi said, it's 50-50. And going into it, you have to know how to treat someone and how someone's supposed to be treated in the first place. It's also how you stop the toxic masculinity, because you do have to be that person to call them out. Because sometimes people don't even call them out. I literally had a cop watch my dad scream and push my mom to the ground, and he did nothing. That's not appropriate behavior for a man. You're not supposed to push a woman to the ground when all she was trying to do was help. And more than that, a cop was supposed to be there to help. So like, there is a point where you have to know what is appropriate behavior. And at some point, you have to also be willing to say, hey, that's not appropriate behavior. You need to correct yourself as an adult. As in, not you personally, you were talking to another person. You also have to call people out on their toxic behavior, because they're not going to stop until someone calls them out. And if they get offended, you at least did the calling out, and the child saw that's not an appropriate action. You have to call them out, because if no one does, they will assume that's okay. And same with your own self. Like, when you start looking at yourself and you start looking at others and seeing how you I know there's a difference between being nosy and doing what's right. Like, if you see someone screaming at a woman and like trying to knock her down, punch her, stop. The caveat to that, though, is the opposite. If you see a guy sitting there calmly and a woman is screaming at him, shoving, punching him, you have to say stop. That's not appropriate, because yeah, it's a woman, but it's not appropriate to hit someone, and everyone forgets that. I've seen so many videos of like women running up to dudes, and they're like shoving and pushing and punching. After a bit, the dude loses it and just hits her once, knocks her to the ground, and everyone's like, oh my God, you can't hit a woman like that, even though she was beating him for 5 minutes and no one stopped him. Yes, there's the difference in power. Yes, there's the level of force, and you can use the level of force just to neutralize the threat. You don't have to go for the kill. But at some point, someone has to call out the inappropriate behavior. And that's what also comes with the toxic masculinity. Yeah, that's how you stop toxic masculinity, is just calling out the inappropriate behavior as well.
Yeah, like I think there's a lot of coverage of like toxic masculinity, but like Bajan has said before, like the patriarchy affects us all. Women that try to defend themselves behind their size and think it's appropriate to beat up a man because they barely feel it or something like that. It's some bullshit. It's the same as like there's this belief that Black women don't feel pain the same way white women feel pain. So in pregnancies and stuff like that, delivery rooms, they don't get offered pain meds as much. That like they're expected, that expectation of tolerance of pain is put upon them. It's some fucking bullshit, man. Like, so you're bigger, cool, whatever. Pain tolerance is pain tolerance. It works different ways. It's not mass determined. It's like And if you're trying to go for equity, that how is that equitable?
Hmm.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
And that when you were telling that analogy, like it hit me in that moment. I'm like, even in that moment, the expectation of like you when you're mad have to still have the composure to be, I'm gonna hit once to defend myself.
Yep. And that goes back to the mental health topic where we have to be, yeah, like that's super hard where there have been moments where I am fuming and I just have to sit there and be like, I need you to calm down, please.
You just be in your feels.
And they can be, it's okay for them to scream and shove and push. And I'm like, you need to calm down or else. Because as soon as I take an action as a man, you should have known better. You know how strong you are. You should have handled your strength. And I'm like, I did for 30 minutes until you got here.
And like, not saying mastery of emotions is not good. Like martial arts, a lot of different disciplines and stuff show mastery of emotion like that. But mastery of emotion is for resilience in moments when you absolutely need it, right? Not because abuse is still abuse. Like
Abuse is still
abuse.
Because I'm just saying, like you learn a discipline. Next thing you know, you just roundhouse someone in the side of the head.
Everyone has a breaking moment, man. Everything has a breaking point. There is even the strongest metals in this planet have a breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
Like testing it shouldn't be as normalized as it is.
No. And just throwing it out there, it's listen here, women. This is what equality looks like. No one is above an equal opportunity ass whooping. So don't you put your hands on nobody. Don't start, no one be none. And just vice versa.
Exactly.
But but I'm just talking specifically about those women that have this in their head that a man is not allowed to hit them, regardless of how many times you hit. You know what I mean? Like, if you started the shit, don't get upset about how it finishes.
And let's also not forget the other part of it. If you start the shit and you're losing the shit, your man has a direct responsibility to back you up, even though he didn't start the shit and you could be wrong. He's got to back you up.
I heard it from a coworker a couple of days ago about like how his partner gets drunk and likes to get in fights.
Oh no!
And starts like trying to like provoke men to fight, and he has to back her up, but he's a little too thick, man.
Yeah.
So like he's like, I don't have this. Some of these dudes are like 6 foot something, gigantic motherfuckers, and I'm over here like, please calm down. I don't need this right now. So
no, those bitches are the worst.
Man,
those are the worst. Like, why are you gonna put your man in a position like that? Like, don't do that. Don't.
Well, at the same time, there's also like you're expected to be a little bit stronger, because I've been put into a position where it's not physical fighting, where it's like you're as the man, you have to be the one to give the bad news to people sometimes, particularly with family members. You have to be the one to call them like, hey, this happened, because they don't want to do it. They don't want to tell their mom that they got into a car accident or something. And it's like, you have to do it. And like, hey, and then you have to listen to their mom scream and like, I want to talk to her. Like, I'm sorry, she's unavailable. And she starts screaming at you like it's your fault. I'm like,
damn.
Don't kill the messenger. Hold up.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Don't shoot the messenger.
But it's always like you also can't take a moment to, and I know in my situation it's like you can't take a moment to panic. in the most extreme situations. Like, for example, if you get into a car accident, you have to be doing the safety checks. You have to be making sure everyone's okay. Like, your significant other can be crying and shaking in the corner, but you have to get through you have to do the adult steps. And that's a lot of weight. Or some days where if you're a caretaker, that's hard for men's mental health because they're like, oh, they're just like, suck it up. You signed up for this. Suck it up. You signed up for this. And I'm like, yeah, I signed up for it. But at the same time, people also have their own things they have to deal with, like their own internal monologue of things that happen to them. You don't know what happened in someone's past. And then whenever they try to talk about it, they're like, oh, well, that's part of being a child. You need to suck it up or be a man.
Yeah.
Or like, I definitely know that when I tried to have conversations growing up or even with my wife, she's like, I didn't know it was that way, but I don't know what to do. You should probably figure it out. And I'm like, I came to you for help. That's where partnership comes in. Then you realize you can't rely on your partner sometimes because they may not have the skill set, but sometimes, I know this might just be from a bad partner, but it might not be a skill set. It might just be a lack of will to even help you find the resources. That's an even bigger part when it comes to mental health. Men's mental health is we don't know where our resources are half the time because like literal things said in therapy as a man. It's all in your head. Just get over it.
Invalidating as fuck. Okay.
Wow.
Another one was, did you try forgiving everybody? Just getting over it.
Let's try to shove a cactus up my ass. Next.
Okay, and then the last one was, oh, you just gotta wait until it's over. You just gotta wait a little longer. You don't have to. You'll get over it after it's over. I'm like, my world is on fire, literally and metaphorically. What do you mean?
Eventually. What's this eventually shit?
What's this eventually? When is the eventually? Because I don't know how long I can last.
Meanwhile,
is there like a time limit on this eventuality?
For real, because like, listen here, bitch. I am holding on by a fucking thread right now. Okay,
man.
All right.
All I'm asking is for like a quarter of that door, Rose. Like, just please, man.
and not even that good thread. It's like that thread you get in elementary school where you use for like arts and craft that you can literally just pull apart by just like that.
Mm-hmm.
No scissors requirement. Like, that's what I'm on right now, lady. What you mean eventually? Fuck you mean?
God damn, man.
Or my favorite one is, oh, maybe you should pray on it.
Leave it up to the Lord.
Leave it up to the Lord. And I'm like,
look, ma'am, if I prayed about it, then you'll be out of a job. If that shit worked, you wouldn't have a motherfucking job. If I could just go to Jesus.
This is the God speaking of men's mental health. Leave it up to me. As for I, the God of men's mental health, pray to me and all your issues will go away. Just pray on it, young lad.
Actually, it is true, though. You could pray to God because you could say on the highway, Jesus, take the wheel and let go. And then that's how all your problems are solved.
No. We don't condone the ultimate solution in this show, man.
But either way, that was a bar.
Yes. Man.
But see, and that's the thing, and that's another part too, because like there is like a loneliness pandemic for men right now, like, and no one wants to talk about it. Like, you want to understand why a lot of these men are a bunch of fucking crash outs is because we're a lot of us are lonely. We don't have like that sense of community, like. And
yeah, like it doesn't have to be like, oh, they're lonely because they can't get whoever they love. No, we're lonely because literally we get looked at and it's like, hey, you're a man. Obviously, you're going to date rape me or something, so I can't talk to you. Or, oh, you're a man, you're ugly, and you are below my standards. So you don't. It could just be a matter of just friendships, and then the toxic masculinity comes back into play where we can't connect with anybody because we tried to, and then it's just a swift kick to the dick, and then we're like, okay, well, I don't want to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
So the loneliness epidemic comes from, as you said, a lack of community, and the lack of community is being funded by toxic masculinity and as well. And it's really frustrating because I also feel that as well. And I'm married. I have a loneliness epidemic because I'm part of the loneliness epidemic because it's like you want someone to lean on. You want someone to be there for you during your darkest moments. And then when you reach out,
Mm-hmm.
there's no one.
Right.
And you're expected to hold on when there's nothing to grab onto anymore. And the people who said, yeah, I'll be there for you no matter what, because you reached out, cut all ties with you.
Yep.
That is part of the loneliness epidemic. When men reach out for when they need people the most, their usefulness is at an end and they are dropped like a sack of rocks.
Ooh-wee. I can tell you. That's the same exact shit I went through last year with my roommate because the moment that I stopped being useful to her, that was a wrap after that.
Yep.
So,
As soon as you're used, because that is all a man is to a lot of people, whether it be women, other men, you are a tool or something to an ends meet, nothing else. And because of that, you feel like an object. You feel like there's no one going to care if you're gone. And half the time, it's right. Like in my darkest moments, which was very quite recently, as Medi knows, no one answered my phone call. And that is why the suicide hotline exists.
mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like people out here's fault, because like at that time I was in Florida. They wanted to help as much as they can, but the support network that I built in Florida, my usefulness had come to an end because these same people, I helped repair their homes. I helped find their dog. I helped so many of these people with random things. I even housed one because they had nowhere to freaking go.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I reached out about my mental health, because everything was falling apart around me, they vanished like the Avatar.
The Avatar vanished.
When the world needed him most.
When the world needed him most, he vanished. It's like, whoa, come on now.
Man, nah. It you said something that's like Jay, give me a moment.
You got to translate it.
Let that neurodivergent brain do its work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you said a lot, man. That's a lot too. That's a lot to address, and it's charged, man. Because I was telling you before that, and I'll say it again. I am so glad that you're with us, and I'm so glad that you're here, man, and so proud. Like, it should have never been that you needed to hold on to the rafts that long and weather the storm that hard. But I am just so happy that you did, and you have. So, yeah.
I appreciate it, bud. That wasn't meant to make a Debbie Downer to people. It's just the example I can go with.
No, man. No. When I was talking to my therapist, because I do understand being the breadwinner, the pressures of being the main provider during difficult situations. I have been the main breadwinner in my family for a minute, and it's hard, man. Like you you can't really take a day off, you know,
Yeah,
because
because
a lot of people depend on you.
if you fail, so many people fail with you, and that is the
Yeah.
pressure you live with.
Yeah.
And my therapist, I was telling her about it, and she's like, well, yeah, it's one of the number one reasons men commit suicide is that feeling of failure.
Mhm.
And we can talk about how our system is broken and it makes it extremely difficult to reach that expectation of provider and breadwinner, and just this very antiquated idea that you have to be the one rock. And that's why I appreciate this kind of conversation and this topic, because that is not it, man. It just does not hit anymore. That is not the system in which we currently live, and I don't want to see any of the men in my life leave this earth early because of such a pressure. It just is not. That's not correct. It's not right. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's assuming World War III doesn't happen, just might be able to get through this because it's
even in hard times like that, man. Like yeah, I like to see the silver lining and shit. Like I still would like to believe that at least in our community, that the system we're trying to build, if some shit happened like that, yeah, the world around us might be burning, but at least we'll be all right.
yeah.
It fuck, man.
Yeah, because
See, like, good.
Yeah, I was gonna speak on because I never had to experience being okay, maybe not all the way true, because there was 2 points in my life where I felt like I had to be the main breadwinner ish. So first time was when I had my first IT job, and I was living with my mom at the time, so we were sharing a room and shit. So once that got it going, she had all these plans talking about, oh, I want to get a house and I want to get a car or a car first, and then immediately looked at me like I'm finna pay for all this shit. Listen, lady, I only make $10 an hour. And this was what? This was 2012 in California. So even that wasn't shit. You know what I mean?
Nah.
So yeah. So the moment I chose myself first, it was a fucking problem. So, fast forward to this is more recent with my roommate. So, expectations, right? All right, I'll let you crash here. You can occupy my living room. $300. So I'm asking for a month. $300. She ends up losing her job. And it's not just her room. It's not just her. It was her cats and her daughter that was here. So I'm literally maintaining a roof over my head for 3 people and 2 pets. So, and I am asking for the bare minimum in return, but you're not able to even do that.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. I did that I've been doing that for 14 years.
Yeah.
Main breadwinner. Yeah, so I get you.
Yeah, and then it's all right, you haven't been paying me rent, but you're expecting so much out of me, but you're not doing the bare minimum. How is this fair? How the fuck is this fair?
Oh yeah.
But you make sure you have beer and cigarettes every fucking day or every week, though. You can go on your benders and all that shit, right? You was trying so hard to get a boyfriend so you can. Listen, that whole situation was so fucking fucked, dude. You put all your time in. She literally put all her time and energy into getting a boyfriend so she can move out. And towards the tail end of that, my apartment was basically a storage unit for her because she will be gone for days.
Yeah. No, and you know what the sad part is? That is a very common occurrence when it comes to men, where they will use you to an end meet. Because I know like a lot of my past has been people using and doing that. I know I come from like a very like depressing past. I'm sorry to the audience for the depressing part. I've been through a lot, as the people on the show know. They know the whole backstory. It's a book. First girlfriend I had literally only started dating me to use me for my car to take her to where her ex-boyfriend was, so she can cheat on me with him.
That's fucking.
That's horrible, man. Fuck that shit.
horrible.
That is a common occurrence because we are an ends to the means. A lot of women treat us as an ends to a mean. A lot of people treat us as an ends to a mean. Like, you're expected to support your family, which is fair, but God help you if you ask them anything, because it's not going to get done half the time, at least in my opinion, or at least with some of these people. I know there are some people who are actually a team player, and I know that these are outliers that are drawn to me, but it's not good for your mental health just because when you see all of these interactions of, oh, you need something from me? Bye, Felicia. Oh, you need something from me? Bye, Felicia. Repeated over and over and over again. And then you're wondering, like, why am I here? Am I here literally just to literally just to give these people money just so they can get to their next boyfriend? And that crushes people.
Yeah.
And as the man and the breadwinner, you're also expected to suck it up when it comes to long hours, when it comes to working that overtime, like when it comes to doing all of the heavy lifting. You could be exhausted, but your boss will still expect you, hey, we got to move like 300 pounds worth of freaking boxes. You're going to do it by yourself. And I don't care if you're off the clock. And I know that happens sometimes with women, but it happens more frequently with men, at least with the heavier jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I know that happened a lot in the Navy.
And like that's the thing, like, and why I dislike the like fact that the roles are gender based. For me, I think a little more like systematic, right? Like, this is what we need to be able to do to run a house.
Mhm.
And it's not like, oh, I expect the floors to be crystal clear and super clean and Jesus could be born right here, like, or I'm not expecting the windows or anything like that, right? But basic shit like the laundry, dishes, food, the little things that you need to make your house a home.
Mhm.
And if you're gonna divide like that, like let's say hypothetically, dude works at an oil rig, puts in 12, 14 hours, comes back home, it is not sexist to hope that your partner can at least have food figured out because you've been working so hard that you don't want to think. You would like to get home, take a shower, take an hour break, and then you still are a partner, so you should come home after your little hour break, decompress, and be a partner.
And
Be engaging, not veg out or anything like that. But it shouldn't be seen as sexist to expect like, hey, order Popeyes for you. You don't have to figure shit out no more. We're good. It's not like you asked for filet mignon or anything like that.
Right.
Like,
yeah, exactly. There's things you can do to be a team player.
Right.
yeah,
And if she wants to go work an oil rig, she can.
exactly. And it can be reversed. Like the woman oil rig or like lawyer assistant, some shit like that. Those are like, I can't paperwork for shit. If you made me do 12 hours of paperwork, I'd be brain dead by the end. I'll eat a celery stick with fucking peanut butter and the little like an ant log. I'll eat that for dinner. I don't care. I'd be done. So
I want to comment on this because
it
this came up during my class discussions the other day. But keep going.
Yeah, like I came home and I would be so pissed if someone said like, "Oh well, you're playing the man and your wife is playing the woman because she made food." I'm like, "No, we're a partnership." I went and made money. I went and killed my brain for 12 hours, and she did me a solid by providing food so I didn't have to think no more.
Absolutely.
It's that is it,
because,
man.
because you know how many couples be crashing out about what we're going to eat for dinner?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
If you are coming back from those 12 hours and have time to think about being disappointed about the ant log, then you had an opinion. Then you could have been like, hey, babe, I'm coming home. Could you please, like, I'm really craving this, some shit like that. And then you can be disappointed if something doesn't happen. But before, if you didn't communicate that ant log was not going to cut it,
Yeah, that's
dude,
fair. That's fair at the point. Communicate, and that's the key. Communication on that one.
Mhm.
yeah, man, like it's team. Like I see people that are fantastic team players at work and then have a completely different expectation with their teammate at home. I'm like,
This is a little mind
all
boggling.
right.
You would think that team player mentality would be kind of like consistent of all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny to watch them like, oh, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to expect. And it's like, okay, but you also planned a 5-day Disney vacation down to the exact time we're going to be on the rides and when we're eating. How did you do that? But you weren't able to do the laundry. Why am I missing underwear after working a 14-hour shift?
I'll be
Priorities.
back in a second. Give me 1 second.
Oh shoot.
I broke her. Oh no.
You can. Okay. No. Okay, she's not getting in the tinfoil hat because when she puts the tinfoil hat on, that's when she's on a conspiracy mode. But no, the tinfoil hat is in her room, is in the study. So that's not what she's doing. But so this conversation came up about like if the roles were reversed because this lady was talking because my agent was basically saying like like you shouldn't be a man that that doesn't have like any ambition. That's crazy. Had to get the bong. Had to get the bong. Had to get that. Nah. So damn. God
That
damn.
broke me, man. What?
What? No, so
Oh, by the way, that was based off a true story.
based off a true story. Oh,
Don't broke her again, dang it.
Oh my god, I just can't. Okay, continue. Sorry, I apologize. I just
says the
I'm listening.
expectation changes because they're not coworkers. It's rough for some couples, bro. But then like, well, then what's the point of y'all being together, bro? Like,
Okay.
like, look, so like this might just be my fucking autism, right? But
okay.
yeah, your partner is not like teammate. No, you guys are not co-workers, but you are a partnership. Not in you're no one's owning anybody. You it's just a mutual respect and mutual decision to be together. If it's not mutual, that's kidnapping, illegal.
Like I got a better way to put that because it's like
Thank you.
so they're like with your coworkers and there's tiers of energy that you put into everything. Coworkers, you put the bare amount of energy to get to the day and the project so you don't screw your coworkers over, and you put on the face of, hey, being nice, here, let me get this for you just so you can keep the peace. When it comes to your friends, or like you present a higher level of energy, and with the expectation with your partner, you are expected to present the highest level of energy, which is fair. You are supposed to be treating your partner better than your coworkers in terms of like, you should know everything about like things that I do for my wife that she doesn't know half the time is like when I see that she's had a rough day, I will specifically go out of my way to cook her favorite dinner or order her favorite meal. That is what things you do for your partner. It's a matching of level of energy, because at the highest level of energy, yes, you're putting out all this energy towards your partner, but in response, your partner should be returning the same energy, doing things that they should be doing to maintain their house. Because at the same time, what would they do at home by themselves? Would they sit there with no underwear? No, they would do the laundry. But because you're there, they should be presenting the energy, the same amount of energy they provide for themselves. Because at the end of the day, everyone's top level of energy should be for themselves. Is because if yourself is not operational, how are you expected to help everybody else?
Mhm.
So you start there, and then you go to your partner to provide the same level of energy. So if you're not doing the basic things for necessity in a home just to make sure your stuff is good, and you can't even throw your partner's laundry in with yours, there's a problem in the energy output.
Yeah. Bars.
Yeah, 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 man.
I like the applause noise.
Yeah, there's soundboards on these microphones. Yeah, the discussion of energy is right, and I agree with it. I was more putting forth the thought of how someone does that might do things, to be clear. Yeah, no, we got you. We got you.
Yeah, we got you. This is not a defense of the
Yeah,
comment.
yeah. It's just like good to explore further, you know, like man,
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm listening.
Yeah. So what I was getting at was, so Agent has this like really narrow-minded like expectation about like a man and like ambitions like in a relationship. And so like I flipped it on her, right? And I said, okay, so what if he was a stay-at-home dad? Like, how much ambition is a man supposed to have if he's taking care of things at home? Because like I said before, like we're not living in traditional times, you know. Some women may come in and they might be the main breadwinners in the house. So how is a man so like when the roles are reversed, you know what I mean? Like there's more to provision, in a relationship than like a paycheck. Like a man like partners are going to show up in ways that they can show up in a relationship to make sure that that relationship is thriving. So, woman does her 8 hours, whatever, she puts in her time. The man's going to do what he has to do at home, make sure everything's like lunch is packed for the kids are in school, house is clean, dinner's ready, the laundry's done, because like so where's the ambition for that? And she goes, well, she kind of had to retract her statement because she has such a narrow-minded view on it. But
it's bullshit that she retracted, because women throw themselves an absolute motherfucking parade for being mothers. It is seen as one of the most ambitious things you can do, because you're raising the new generation. Why is it not ambitious to focus and be sure that the next generation of people is well fed, well raised, well everything, man? Like it is an absolute task. So like that's some shenanigans, because like Mother's Day, you're like take your mom out and like do all these things and flowers and representation and a fucking parade and shit. Father's Day, you go to Home Depot, buy your dad like
a tape measure.
You know what dads get on Father's Day?
Ties.
They get the big piece of chicken. That's what they get.
Yeah.
So
and if you're balling, you get a nice steak.
I call bullshit on that, man. Like it is absolutely ambitious to like I see some dads that like have a full on schedule, and he's gonna do this and he's gonna be doing that, and I'm gonna take him here and gonna take him that, and they're seeing into the future of who their child will become, and that's a fucking amazing, man. Like, to me, I'm like, he's really thinking about the whole fucking process of where this is gonna lead. And fatherhood is not just providing materialistic things, but
No,
example.
it's more than that.
And
It's about
yeah.
teachable moments. It's always about teachable moments too. You know, like
Mhm.
can't always like pass on that. Like
Yeah.
not having a father in my life is why I feel like I will be a great dad, because like that inner child is gonna get fulfilled, right?
Mhm.
So, you know, whenever we get into the next step in our relationship, like I want to be like the best example of like, all right, well, I'm not your father, but at least I'm a positive male role model in your life. You know, like you're gonna see like a positive example of like what a healthy relationship is. Like I'm gonna try and like show him examples in other ways of just like, you know, okay, here's what it looks like. Okay. So any relationship requires a sacrifice of compromise and balance. If you can't effectively communicate finances issues without being emotional and seeking to understand, helps. Yeah,
Yeah, it's fair.
bars.
Yeah, man. Legit. Yeah, no, like it. It's for any successful relationship that you like, it's gonna last, man. Like, yeah, and I'm not saying like you have a one night stand and then next morning pull out the taxes and be like, let me see your W-2. Like, but like, if you're actually trying to build something,
I would have preferred your Ubers here.
You say, hey, I have your social security number now. When are we going to start filing for joint custody?
Right.
of the cat.
Of the cat.
Like, yeah, man. It's just like, but yeah, if you're going into a relationship with a building mentality, then these are things that must be discussed.
W-2, 401k, retirement, other stock options. Gotta have the whole financial portfolio. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
The sex was amazing. You passed the first test. Like,
all right. We got a 94 on the sex part of the interviewing process. So we're going to move on to the taxes next and see if you're actually good with numbers.
Oh my God, dude. So we're getting a little sidetracked, but I've always said this before. This is just about relationships in general. Like, motherfuckers will say all the right shit to get the job, but their resume is trash.
Fake it till you make it.
oh my God.
But kind of going back to the topic of this episode, with fatherhood and parents, another thing people don't think about with men's mental health is, and I know from personal experiences, miscarriages.
Woo-wee.
And that's speaking from experience, because a lot of the time, a lot of people, is your wife okay? Is your wife okay? Is your wife okay? They don't ask about you, because that was the potential for a child. That was a potential for, like, particularly for trying to have a kid at the time. No one asks if you're okay, when in reality you're devastated and crushed.
Yeah.
Or even worse, if you find out, if they say, "Oh, I hid," if they hide any from you, that's an even worse situation.
Ooh.
They think that it's okay to, because you're a man. You don't even get a chance to mourn sometimes because of that. Same with court hearings. You watch, like, where some women will take them to court and deliberately get the child just so they can get child support. And in reality, he was a good dad. He was the better parent, but they go for the mother like a lot more. And in a lot of laws, as messed up it is, they're a lot more in favor of the mother. And I'm sure there was a reason at the time, but we're not living in those times anymore. And it that's where you really see a lot of that. And then you're also expected, while you're dealing with this horrific thing, you're also expected to deal with providing money for both still, because child support, even with divorce and whatnot. And you're not really getting mental help at that point, because every time you try to go reach out to somebody, they're just telling you to suck it up and be a man. It sucks. That is the worst phrase in the world. Suck it up, be a man.
Be a man.
You get these script as the course in rain.
Be a man.
Don't expect the great time for
Furious as the dark side of the moon.
Oh
shoot.
no, man, that's that. Oh man,
That was like the most positive song about toxic masculinity like ever. Disney.
But was it toxic masculinity? It was just war. It was just how to be strong and control your emotions. Be mysterious at the dark side of the moon. That might be a way. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's coded words for "Don't tell me about your emotions."
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on now.
No,
But if I tell you about my emotions, you'll disappear in the shadows.
No, I think I said it in one episode before, but I'll take advantage of this moment right now.
Song, I just want to make sure that YouTube don't flag us. So if you're gonna hit it, turn the camera off. That's what I that's when my camera was off. I had to take a hit. I had to do a couple of hits.
These are heavy topics, man, and
I mean, this is why my camera is off.
10 women to man up is crazy.
Transgenderism.
Oh my god, dude!
Did tell women to man up when they send a single mom away to go to study a degree in the mainland when there's a degree there that is world renowned for it. Live action, Lilo and what?
Nah, dude, like that's god, Disney. Disney.
God, Disney.
Toxic.
No, wait. I don't want to like veer too far from this topic because that's a heavy one, man. Like I needed to like grab the bong and shit. It's again, motherfucker. You're making
it's okay.
Patriarchy. Because in Mexico and machismo, right? There's a lot of like a friend of mine, she had a one-night stand and got pregnant after the one-night stand. Dude comes over with the equivalent in US dollars to like $300. Gives her that and like either for the abortion or for the baby. I want nothing to do with him. Walks away, scot's free. Can't take him to court, nothing. Not really worth it. So now she's a single mom, trying to do the best she can, right? Mm-hmm. With it. But it is seen as manly to scatter children, to spread your seed, and not own any of the paternity of it.
So he was throwing his seed around. Mm-hmm. Seed throwing. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's also pretty rampant in the state too. If you want to talk on that issue, that's also just shit bad dads.
It's, but I feel like it is. And you guys tell me more about it. Like, is it that they are shitbag people, or is it patriarchy, like machismo, that portrays that as like, oh well, you're doing the manly thing by not owning up to any of your kids? Like, is
So-
that
No,
like,
I have a very controversial opinion about this. And premise, grew up without a dad. Right? So understand this. So what I will say is that no, just as much as a woman shouldn't be forced to be a mother, you cannot make a man be a dad.
like a dad, like
Like a dad.
just
Like
she's
like
just yeah,
like
okay.
because the thing is, because other side of the spectrum, right? Woman gets an abortion, dad's devastated because he was so ready to be a father, right?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
So in that regard, right? Like if this man told you he did not want to be a father and you chose to keep that child, then you have to deal with the consequences of that.
I mean that is fair.
That's
And-
it's shitty. It is fucking shitty because in a perfect world, of course, that man will be involved in that child's life, right? But
And Yeah.
but that's where we have to have fairness on both sides of that argument. Because
yeah, and there's always the option of like
Right,
if they don't want to do the
process,
abortion, adoption.
Yeah. Now,
Fuck, man.
as far as your question is concerned, no, that shit isn't manly at all. That's just fucking irresponsible.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with him. Like, yo, if you choose not to wrap your shit or you choose to do unsafe practices, that is because you're stupid, and you probably should not be procreating.
I'm gonna try to find this link, man, because I am so excited for this. I don't know if it got released already or not.
Oh, you're
But
talking
it
about
is
the miracle
An
jizz you
injectable
was talking about?
vasectomy.
Injectable.
So instead of an actual vasectomy, they're working on a chemical, method
Adele.
where they would go in and inject a little plug into the duct where the semen goes through, and that way it's a little plug instead of an actual vasectomy. They don't cut anything, and whenever you're ready to actually have kids, they put a different chemical that dissolves the plug, and you just pee it out.
Bro, there's one. There's one they have literally that's a switch, or you can attach to an app and turn it off and on
For men,
for men.
Jizz jelly.
Just jelly.
anti-jizz jelly.
Anti-jizz. That already exists. Yeah, but no, like speaking as someone who got a vasectomy for that reason, because I don't want any kids. I don't want kids anymore after my pass. It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible as hell if you were just going to be spreading your seed everywhere and not taking responsibility for it. Last guy who did that, because it was considered manly, because the last guy who did that was Attila the Hun, and unless you were Attila the Hun, it's not going to be considered manly because he actually caused a minor climate change event because he killed so many, like the plague did, because he killed so many people.
As a percentage of the population is related.
Yeah,
As well.
that's impressive. That's impressive.
It's horrible, horrifying, but impressive. Like
I mean, like we might be experiencing that now because look how many kids fucking Nick Cannon has.
Oh jeez. No, we're talking that dude has his numbers, man. But like
Cock blocker.
so
Cock blocker is crazy.
I want this. I'm excited for this because I believe if vasectomy is too hard of a step for you, this is super safe. If you know you don't want kids, just get this.
Yeah.
And do you know what the worst part is?
What?
We will probably get this under anesthesia. You wouldn't get that for an IUD, and it's safer than IUD.
Mm-hmm.
Or the bar. The bar has been given cancer in your arm. Cancer. Like
Hormonal treatment, man, can like just wreck a woman's body. Like it's hard. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for this because I hope that
Me
more
too.
men normalize this decision of like, yeah, no babies.
Yeah, like
Stop right here.
Oh,
that's
They should
a
call it-
very interesting topic because like men's birth control is way more safer.
Yeah. Ours can be reversed. Ours reverses by itself. Like it happened to me once. I had to get a vasectomy twice because it reversed itself.
Oh Jesus.
God damn.
Yeah, like that's how easy it is for us. It can reverse itself. We can easily get it reversed by it. They said, "Well, it might not work." Bullshit. It still everything still works in a vasectomy. It's just they can't travel up the pipes, and it's like it's way safer than everything y'all have gone through. Because I've had to look at the same options with my wife, and I was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna get snipped. Screw all this. I'm not having you take those risks." No.
Nah, it's a
no.
lot, man. On a woman's body, it's ridiculous. So
They put me under a week later. I'm fine.
No. And what I will say is though, me having a breeding fetish, I'm willing to deal with the consequences of that. So
Yeah. You want to be a father.
You want to
Like
be
you
a
were saying,
father. I
and
don't.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it from that perspective, man. Like, yeah, why should it's garnishing your wages? It's a life altering decision to have a child. You were trying to go for a one night thing, the condom ripped or something.
Mhm.
The fuck you gonna do, right? You don't want to be a father. That is a legitimate perspective because women do it too. Women are like, I'm gonna abort this baby because I am not ready. Like we were saying, to fathers, to men that wanted to be fathers.
Mhm.
Never seen it like that. That's shit.
What's a common phrase in movies that whenever like a common phrase is trapped them. That's how.
Yo, it is super normalized.
Oh, you got them good. You trapped them.
Oh,
Trapped him. Either trapped him or he trapped you with a baby.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he trapped you with a baby. Damn. It's a common thing.
Yeah. Because because when it comes to like the whole abortion thing, like if it didn't wake men up then, it should have woke men up now because there's the untalked about perspective where people think that abortion is just a woman's issue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really and then like when you really dive deep enough, it's really not. It's everybody.
It's a reproductive issue. It takes two.
It takes two. Like you ain't just finishing. You just not just getting pregnant just because like you're not a fucking. You know what I mean? Like
fucking Jesus is all over it. Fucking virgin birth here and there.
No. Could you imagine if like women had like the anatomy of like hens? Like they just like lay eggs.
Oh no!
Unfertilized eggs being laid around.
We have period already. Why do you want to make it worse?
Wait, what if it replaces the period? You just lay an egg and just be done with it.
Depends on the size, I guess. Make it not proportional.
In proportion to the chicken egg.
In proportion to the chicken egg. That would solve a lot of issues for women. They just start just walking around the house or a job, and suddenly the panties fill up with an egg.
One in my family takes on a completely different fucking no, lay 2 eggs every time.
But
no.
What if it's like a kiwi? A kiwi-sized egg. Oh shoot!
but going back to.
I'm sorry.
You're all good. You're good. But going back to the top of all this compiled, and first off, it comes back to A, fuck the patriarchy, but B, everyone wonders why men's mental health is shit. But everything we've talked about on this show, it is literally the perfect powder keg scenario. Of they wonder why people just pop off. It's because all of this between a baby they didn't want and the can't release their emotions because it's considered weak and unmanly and all of this other stuff. It's literally a powder keg ready to go off. Some people take powder keg and unfortunately end their life, and that's why we talk about this. Other people take the powder keg and go to a movie theater with a rifle, and I don't support that. This is not supporting violence at all, but we all know that's what happens.
Yeah.
This is how it goes off. Every time, this is how it goes off. It is one more event. Like, for example, it could be just say another someone like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." Those two words could be what set this powder keg off that's been building for years.
Yep.
And
Damn.
that, yeah, like,
Nah, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. But
Nah.
go from real heavy. Yeah, sorry to bring it back to the dark topic, but it just
No, that's a topic. That's a topic.
nah, that is the topic. That is definitely the topic.
You watch
And,
all,
Don't want to go a little too over, but we can next 15 minutes or so for like any like closing thoughts, about just men's mental health, just be about anything.
what do you say? What'd you guys do to like deal? What helps men's mental health? And it's toss in something. Give me at least one that is considered unmanly. Because fuck that shit.
Unmanly?
Yeah, fuck that shit.
An unmanly thing to navigate through our emotions?
gay
Or
sex.
no, not to cope, to like deal with the pressures of these things in the current system, I guess.
Stand by my answer.
For the non-bisexual.
That's crazy. So you know how I do as a man. You know how I deal with my emotions. I just take a nice, stiff, hard, meaty dick right up my ass. Tickles the prostate. Keeps the bad thoughts away every time.
Yeah.
The RNC keeps crashing Grinder, man, when they meet. So like, I don't know.
I mean, hey, listen, you ever have a serious a pet helps. Okay. Yeah, no, that is real, because when I was alone in the house and I didn't have my dog or my cat, and I was like, that was when it got really bad. A pet being there would have helped. Yeah.
It's a really good one.
Yeah. But me personally, I need to take, like, a lot of my anger gets taken out with doing something. Like, I have to, for example, I've been dealing with a lot of emotions last couple of days because everything that went on, and raised fence is gone. It had to come down because it was falling apart, but I took down an entire fence in like a day. So doing housework or projects.
And I think that's part of why men get taken advantage of with that, is because it is a very common coping mechanism, like doing things with your hands, solving problems, but it's little problems that are easy to solve. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you love solving problems, so here goes everything. And you're like, the fact that I like to like solve puzzles and shit does not mean I wanted to solve all the problems. It gets like assumed, I guess. It seems, at least from out here.
I don't like getting called out, Maddie.
Love you, but
she said like unmanly ways of coping. So I don't really know.
no, like at least one. Like give me a couple, but like at least make one be it unmanly. Traditionally,
so is cook. Well, no, because I can't even say that, because like I like to cook.
Cooking, actually, no, that you can kind of say that, because some people consider that unmanly. Like half the time it's like, oh, what'd your wife cook today? Oh, my wife doesn't really cook. I cook. Oh, you made this? Oh.
But
But at the same time, it's also seen as really attractive to cook.
but here's the thing.
It's seen unmanly if it's not like a grill.
That's
Yeah,
what
it's not
I'm saying.
manly.
Or the catch-22 is because who do you think all the head chefs are at these fancy ass restaurants? Men.
Yeah. I know.
It is.
I know. How about like I want to say hobbies in general, but if you want to say an unmanly one, cross stitching.
Dude.
Like
This is
I
hard.
don't. I don't do it because I don't have patience. I tried it. I said no. That's why I break things. Bunga bunga.
He's still on the
Dude.
gay sex. Gay sex is still valid.
Gay sex is still valid.
Yeah.
You got it.
And Naraga said one dancing, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that one, and I think at least for me,
Well, like, well,
Come
hold
from-
on, because there's a caveat here. What kind of dancing?
pole dancing.
oh,
So like, we talking like you sliding down that pole? You know what I mean?
But at the same time, pole dancing is an intense workout. It's a lot of upper body
it
strength.
God, dude,
man,
Like
lot of-
Jesus.
uh,
a lot of upper body, a lot of core strength being used there for sure.
A lot of bruises. Everyone see you all bruised up. Oh, do you fight or something? No, I pole dance, bro. But also, the pole dancing can lead to the gay sex.
slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope.
the kind that gets me stared at for standing at the stared at for standing seizure.
Man, let
Oh
it
man,
fly.
let it fly.
Okay, man.
Mhm. Listen, I know, like with white people, we have no rhythm, but it's useful on Arrakis because that means we can walk and don't have to worry about sandworms.
I mean, like the whole rhythm thing is bullshit. If there's coke involved, there's coke involved.
Mhm.
Y'all-
The
I
rhythm enhancer, man.
Slippery pole, more like.
So, like me personally, like going back to the topic, like coping mechanisms. I know, like one thing, and this is not manly at all, and this is something that men have to learn how to do, whether they like it or not.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Men need to learn to cry.
Ooh-wee! Oh!
Because crying naturally is your body releasing excess chemicals that are in your body, such as the chemicals that make you sad.
Mhm.
Dude, women, I believe, have the opposite problem. I hate the fact that I cry when I'm mad, because the moment a tear rolls down my fucking cheek, people assume that I'm not serious, that I'm emotional. I'm like, nah, man. It's you are criticizing. You're literally. It's like criticizing the bubbles on a boiling pot, man. It's a natural occurrence.
Yeah.
The water's boiling, it bubbles out. It doesn't invalidate the fact that that's just hot and angry. So, like,
I wouldn't say for women it's a problem. It's really more so like how cooked our society is.
oh no,
Well,
like it. I experience it all the time. Like, my point doesn't get across as much, so I have to like not let it happen. But when I don't succeed, like people readdress the way that they like behave in front of me, and I'm like, nah, man, I'm not sad, I'm mad, and I meant to say this, so I have to like come at it in a different manner.
See, and Mehdi, the thing is though, that is not just a woman issue as well, because like I do the same thing where I have to fight myself not to cry when I'm super pissed off. Like when I'm really, really angry and your body is making you cry, it is literally because you are angry to the point that your body's like, hey, calm down. We're going to dump some of the angry chemical out. So it's not just a woman problem. It's a natural response. So don't feel as bad about it. It's just, if you're starting to cry, just tell them that is just the anger juice seeping out. Do you want to test what happens next?
Oh man.
Because
So
once
it
these
happens to
tears
you guys
dry,
too?
it's over for you, man.
It happens to you guys too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
It does.
I've angry
It happened in the
cried
Navy,
before.
like a lot. I had to literally fight myself to cry, to say not to cry
Damn.
when I was screaming at
Shit.
my guys in my shop.
Oh yeah, dude.
Did not
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
thing.
natural body response. It's because too much chemical in your brain make your brain go. "Ah!"
Yeah, you see a
Man.
man. Listen, I fear the man that be angry when he's to the point of tears and he's angry. I fear that man.
Yep.
That man scares me more than just the motherfucker that's just raging and shit all the time.
Yeah. As soon as the guy starts to cry, and that means he lost the battle to keep the tears in.
Oh,
That means
Certified.
you are about to die.
certified crash out.
Mhm.
And maybe because I do happen to work in a lot of male dominant like fields, so like I because in like women's spaces you cry. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Oh.
You have to go. You go to a place later to cry.
I'll give you the perfect example of this in a movie. Who has here watched Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars?
Yes.
So you
I
know,
believe so.
so when Anakin turned to the dark side, he was crying a lot.
Mhm.
Some people might have confused that for he was sad for what he'd done, but no, he was just so full of hate and rage. He started crying with his Sith eyes. And then, the final moment, I have the high ground, Anakin. Don't do it.
You underestimate my power.
You underestimate my power. Ah! Right? So,
Got cocky.
So as Anakin is sliding down, he's crying again. Not from the pain. He's angry. I hate you. Crying. Those are anger tears. Motherfucker crashed out. Up until he got burnt to a crisp. Now he can't cry anymore. Because his tear ducts are dry. Them burnt out. Shit.
Yeah. So, Mehdi, you remember the phone call when I was going the night before I flew out here, and you could
Mhm.
hear me crying? That was not
Yeah.
tears of sadness. That was tear of straight rage. Between getting trapped in the elevator and my stuff breaking and being soaked to the bone and almost missing my flight, that was straight anger. I was breaking things at that point. And for the people who do not know, the last 72 hours of my almost before I flew out here was literally a living hell. I have a whole story to tell people about that later, but that's on a different channel.
Anakin just needed therapy. No, here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. He did get therapy. You know what essentially Yoda said was, "Suck it up."
Yep. He got told, "Suck it up." And then what happened? He killed a bunch of kids next.
Killed a bunch of children after
He
that.
crashed out.
He fucking crashed out. Anakin went to Yoda and said, "I keep having visions about someone that I love dying." And in the most polite way, Yoda said, "Miss them, do not. They just return to the Force. It is what it is. You'll be fine."
And
Invalidating as fuck.
And you wonder why Anakin fell to the dark side. Because anytime he went to the council about some shit, they told him just to suck it up.
Man, I feel it. That is some bullshit. It's hard to get over that. Like that.
Dude. And the most like how wise was Yoda in the end? Like
how wise was he? Obviously not. Because the first thing though he was he not wise, he knew someone was out to get him. That's why he knew the clones were about to kill him. Yoda knew he messed up somewhere. He's like, oh no.
See, a bit of side note, but honestly, the way the whole Jedi Order was a problem in that they didn't approach things the way individuals needed. It was their way or the highway type shit.
And actually, that's not off topic at all. That is very much the point also for men's mental health as well, because it's very much that you just have to get over it and let it be what it be. Like, why are we allowed to let men why are we allowed to get hurt all the time, but we can't have a little bit of justice? So instead of the Jedi Order giving us helping us get justice or helping us get better and get into a better environment, they caused a crash out, and then all the kids, and then that's how that happened.
That's interesting. I wonder why nobody's ever talked about how fucking patriarchal the Jedi Order was.
Oh no, there's a lot of like backstory on that. The Jedi Order is really messed up.
like nobody talks about how patriarchal the Jedi Order was pre-Order 66. Because in the extended universe, when Luke took over, when the novels were still canon, like his Jedis were like at least emotionally a lot more well-rounded, had a much more complete view on the Force. Like, you know, it was that we are all human at the end of the day. If we have emotions, like Lucas are like, hey guys, emotions are okay. This is how you deal with your emotions.
Well, it's also believed the reason why the Jedi Order might have been like going downhill is because the main Jedi temple on Coruscant was built on a Sith sacred site. It was a forgotten Sith temple, and that's why Palpatine was super interested in it.
Yeah. See, I see that part of the why legend story of Luke. See, this is what I was saying.
Yeah, exactly. You got a good point.
Someone that read the books. Mm-hmm. See, there was failures in orders talking about, okay, so yeah, he had that one crash out, his nephew. It happens. You know, so you can't save everybody. It is what it is. You're going to have somebody that's going to crash out, but hey, it's okay. It's okay to crash out.
Exactly. But
how you deal with it after? It's up to you, bud.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But on that note,
yep.
Well, you got anything to say? You know?
No, I was gonna say, just make sure go to the right therapy, take care of yourself, and make time for yourself, because that's the best thing you can do.
Self-care, which can in some ways I guess can seem a bit unmanly, but fuck you.
Self-care, which means gay sex.
It can mean not mandatory. It can mean.
Just that big, meaty, girthy, dick up the ass.
Ever had to crash out so bad you need gay sex? That's what it's like driving F-150.
And on that note, gay sex.
Love you guys.
Have a good rest of the weekend. You know, don't be afraid to, express yourself for the men that have been watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. We'll see you next Sunday. Thank you, Nico, for coming on and bringing your perspective in. Appreciate you.
No, thanks, guys, for having me. Hope you have a good day.
Yeah. All right.
You too, man.
Okay. Have a good one. Oh, he didn't have to leave. He didn't.
I'll let him know. It's okay.
Okay. Come in.